Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Hello everyone. I hope everyone is well. Welcome to this video in which I'm very excited to introduce you to this amazing concept in mathematics called trigonometry. Now, this is one of my favorite concepts, not only to play around with, but to also teach, because I personally started doing trigonometry when I was quite young. When I was in grade 5, I think. Not very young, but before we learned it in school, and I really find it very, very, very interesting. And let's talk more about it. It's not very hard. So the first idea I really want to talk about is the Pythagorean theorem. Pythagorean theorem. And it is this very, very famous law that states that a squared plus b squared is equal to c squared. But what is it exactly? I mean, we all heard this, I think, and it really does not explain anything if we didn't draw it. It actually concerns with a special type of triangles called right triangles. Let me actually change the color. So, as you can see, this is a right triangle, which essentially means it has this right angle, this angle of 90 degrees. And if we consider a part of it to be A, this side to be A, this side is B, then this side is going to be C, then this law will be used to find one of them while both are known. If we have two knowns, we can find the third one. I also want to introduce the idea of an angle more. I mean, we all know what an angle is, but we usually denote it with the letter theta. So we denote it with theta, and some textbooks, they denote it with the letter alpha. I will personally go with theta because it's the most common one. And based on this, we can decide some sides, and we can name some sides. Let's look at the side B. What is B going to be? So B is the one that is next to the angle theta, so it's going to be the adjacent. We call it the adjacent side. And then we have this side C. C is exactly opposite to the right angle. It's opposite to the right angle, and as you can clearly see, it's the longest side. We call this the hypotenuse. We call it the hypotenuse. I'm not sure if it's written like this, but we usually just write hype. And for adjacent, we usually just write ADJ. And then this side that is exactly opposite to the right angle, to not the right angle, but to theta, the side that is opposite to theta, we call it the opposite. The opposite. So OPP, that is short for opposite. So again, the side that is opposite to the right angle, we call it the hypotenuse, and then the side that is next to the angle theta is going to be the adjacent, and the side that is opposite to the angle theta is also going to be the opposite. So let's take another example to discuss this further. So I will attempt to draw some triangle that is quite similar to that, and the right angle is still here, but let's try to make theta here now, and let's denote some sides. Okay, so C, as always, it's the opposite to the right angle, so it's going to be the hypotenuse. And then this time theta is this side, so what is the opposite and what is the adjacent? This time A is going to be the adjacent, while B is going to be the opposite. Just keep this in mind for now, and then when we will introduce some trigonometric functions, we will talk about these much more in detail. Now, the best way to practice the Pythagorean theorem is to take some examples. So let's draw a right triangle here, and let's say that we have a side with a side length of 3 and then 4. And then what we want to find is this x here. We don't know this side, so we want to calculate it. So we relate it using the Pythagorean theorem. We can say that the 3 is equal to A and then 4 is equal to B. So we know that based on this, that C squared, which is in this case X squared, is equal to 3 squared plus 4 squared. Alright, this is the equation that relates these two sides to the third side. Now to actually solve for X, all what we have to do is just to take the square root of both sides. So I took the square root of X squared and I will get X, and then I will just keep this the same. This is equal to the square root of 3 squared, which is 9, plus 4 squared, which is 16, and this is equal to the root of 25, which is equal to 5. And this is how we solve for the missing angle. But what if we had a slightly different situation? Again, we have right angle here. Sorry, it's not the best looking right triangle here, but we will have to use it right now. And let's say that we have, for example, this side being 9, the hypotenuse being 9, and we have 3 right here, and we don't know this side. We don't know this side. X is the unknown. So using this equation, we cannot find X. We will have to kind of manipulate this equation to find X. But let's write it. So we know this, we can consider it as A, this can be considered as B, and this can be considered as C. So let's write the equation. So A squared, so 3 squared, plus B squared, which is X squared, is equal to C squared, which is 9 squared. Let's try to simplify it right here. So we can write it as 9 plus X squared is equal to 81, right? And this is a simple equation that we can solve algebraically. So what we will do is we will move the 9 to the other side, and we will have X isolated. So X squared is equal to 81 minus 9, which is equal to, so 81 minus 9 is 72, right? And this is equal to X squared. So X squared is equal to 72. To find X, we'll just have to take the square root of both sides. So let's do it. So X is equal to the square root of 72, and we can calculate it using the calculator. So let's do it. So the square root of 72 is equal to 8.5 approximately. 8.5. And using this, we have calculated X. So this X here is equal to 8.5. Now to verify if this answer is really correct, what we will do is use the Pythagorean theorem again. So let's do it. We know that A squared, so 3 squared, plus B squared, which is 8.5 squared, should be equal to, so we will think whether it is equal to 9. So we will just have to verify that this right part is equal to the left part. So let's do it. I will do it in the calculator. So 3 squared, which is 9, plus 8.5 squared, which is 72.25, should be equal to 9 squared. All right, should be equal to 9 squared, which is 81. So is this correct? Well, 9 plus 72.25 is actually equal to 81.25, which is approximately equal to 81, because I did some approximations, but we could verify that the answer that we got, 8.5, is indeed correct. So this is the start to trigonometry using the Pythagorean theorem to actually solve some questions involving right triangles. Well, what I encourage you to do is to practice a lot of these questions using, for example, artificial intelligence to make you some questions that you can solve. Practice makes perfect, and I think if you practiced it a lot, you will make these questions instantaneous. You will solve them instantaneously. So best of luck in that. Now the next video is going to be proving the Pythagorean theorem. Thank you very much.